Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am just going to sit down, do some makeup, have a wee chat with you guys and see what look we can come up with. It has been a while since I have just sat down and played with some makeup, so I thought why not make that today's video. It's been a while. So first things first, let's get this hair out of my face. I know I'm probably going to look like an egg here. Don't know if you can hear the birds, they're having a fight on my roof right now. Never mind. So first to prep my skin I'm going to use the Revolution Vitamin C Serum, and I've been using this for a while. It is pretty good, I must say. I do actually really like this. The only thing I don't like about this is that afterwards your hands kind of smell like fake tan, which is weird because on the ingredients there isn't a tannin like formula in this. Like, it doesn't have tan and it doesn't like stain your skin, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make your face tanned or anything. So I thought that was a bit weird, but otherwise I do really love this serum. It just makes your skin like super glowy. So for this look I've decided to use the Monica and Rachel palettes from the Friends Revolution collection. I have used them before, not on camera, but I really like them. If you can remember, I did the review of the big palette, so I'm going to use these and see how I get on. Okay, just zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see what I'm up to. So like always I'm going to start priming using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm just going to take this all over the eyelid. So this just sets down a really good sticky base for the shadows to cling onto. And pretty much any concealer or, you know, base eyeshadow primer does the same job. Okay, to start off I'm using the Monica palette, and I'm just going to dip into this shade here, Frizzy, using a little small blending brush. I'm just going to start by stamping that into the crease. Really get that colour on there. So just starting to blend that using small circular motions and back and forth motions, and I'm just using a really light hand for this. So just whilst I'm blending, I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole this morning after I seen a news article saying that 1 in 6 people will be refusing the coronavirus vaccine, and I thought that was interesting because, like, that's quite a lot of people. Like, 1 in 6 is quite a large amount of the population, honestly. This was just in the UK. This was a UK study that they had done. It did shock me a little bit, I'm going to be honest. I always am honest with you guys anyway, but that really surprised me that 1 in 6 people said that they wouldn't be getting the virus. It said that they wouldn't be getting the vaccine, sorry. So I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole researching reasons that people had gave, like, why they wouldn't be getting the vaccine. And some of them, honestly, were absolutely just ridiculous, right? So listen to this. Right, so one of the main reasons people gave, one of the main conspiracies out there, is that people think Bill Gates is trying to track them via a microchip which would be implanted with the vaccine. What? For real? That was one of the top reasons people gave for not wanting to be vaccinated. Now, I don't know if people genuinely are not aware of this or have not thought this through before giving this reason, but you can be tracked at all times with your phone. Just saying. Like, how many studies have been out there, or how many companies have said that they store every piece of data on your phone? Like, so if you go to Asda and you have your location on or whatever, that's stored in your data. Like, for real, I don't think that, honestly, Bill Gates, the multi-billionaire, is really interested if wee Sam Faye Poso wanted to go to Asda. Seriously, I really don't think Bill Gates cares. about that. Maybe that's just me, but honestly, don't think he would be interested. For real. Like, can you imagine a board meeting? Bill Gates is just chilling, like, you know, phones and other devices, Alexa, Google, not cutting it. Let's just directly implant a chip to everybody so we know, even if they don't have a phone on them or a device near them, we know exactly what every single person in the world is doing at all times. Come on. That seems a little bit ridiculous to me. Personally, that's just my opinion, but doesn't seem plausible to me. I'm now just cutting the crease here, so I'm doing my little trick, stamp the concealer on and then look up. And you can see that just makes a nice line, gives you an idea where you want your cut crease to be. Going back to the Bill Gates theory, even if that did happen, right, they're all sitting in a meeting, surely the government officials would be like, listen Bill, we know you're a multi-billionaire and you have a lot of power in this world, but that's a step too far. Too far. You would think so. You would think so. Anyways, now dipping into the Rachel palette, I'm going to take this bright pink here, which is called Pushover, and I'm going to place that just where I put the concealer for the cut crease. This is, wow, this is really, really bright. Woo, hello pigment. You guys see this? Wow. Love that. So I was reading that another reason people said they would refuse the vaccine was because they thought it was just a big conspiracy, a big ploy made up by pharmaceutical companies who didn't make a lot of money and they wanted to make more money. So they thought, you know what? Let's just make up this fake virus, tell everybody that this is deadly. We'll make up this story that, you know, some lunatic in China ate a bat and it shut down the whole world and this is the most deadly virus known to man ever. We'll tell everybody that they need to stay home and they're not allowed to see their families and they can't do anything. We'll shut down the whole world, and then in a few months we'll roll out this vaccine. Everybody will need it, everybody will want it, and we'll make loads of money from it. Again, that sounds a little bit suspicious to me. To quote the great Bailey Sarian, seems a little bit suspicious. I honestly think that any pharmaceutical company out there, now granted, they do make a lot of money from pharmaceuticals. I'm not denying that. Companies do make a lot of money from vaccines and medicine and whatever else. We know that's a fact, but I highly doubt that any company, again with government bodies involved, would be allowed to do that, first of all, or would think that that was a great idea to make money. I don't know. That one, again, does not seem plausible in my brain. I mean, obviously I understand people have their own reasons and their own feelings and ideas and thoughts. Fine. But to me, that just seems a little bit crazy. Okay, I now have that pink on. That is super bright. Honestly, I think this might stain, but we'll see. We'll see. Now I'm going to dip into this darkest brown here, which is called Crush, also from the Rachel palette. And I'm just taking a bigger blending brush here and I'm just going to blend out that outer edge just to add some depth here. And don't worry, I know this is probably looking super messy, but we'll clean this up in a sec. This is why I did my eyes first and not my foundation first. Okay, I've just had to change to phone cam. My battery on my camera died. I was surprised, of course not. That just got super messy, super fast. So I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit with a good old-fashioned wipe. Okay, I know it's looking crazy. I think this is just going to be one of the trust the process looks that might even just come out looking horrendous in the end. But I'm going to continue blending this up here. It is just looking not good. So another reason that people had given for not wanting the vaccine was due to religion or religious beliefs, which is fair enough. You know, everybody has their own culture, their own religion, their own beliefs, and that is absolutely fine. If some cultures or some religions don't believe in medicine or anything like that, then, do you know, cool. That's entirely up to you to make that decision. Personally, I am not religious or anything like that, so that doesn't really affect me. But I know there are people out there who do have strong faiths, and that's totally fine. So, you know, can't really say much about that one because that's down to each individual. Okay, I'm going to leave the eyes for now and do my base and then come back to them once the base is on, and hopefully it might not look so extreme. Maybe. We'll see. So something I quite like to do if, you know, I'm going out somewhere, obviously not recently, but if I had an event or something, I would like to spot conceal. So what this does is you just put your concealer anywhere that you might have like a blemish or a breakout, which for me is pretty much my whole face, but never mind. I must say my skin has been better recently. Obviously I do have quite a few breakouts here and there. Some of these ones are hormonal. We all know what that means. Period. But it is what it is. So yes, spot concealing. So what this does is it just gives you a little extra layer of coverage before you put your foundation on. So just very quickly going to pat that in using my beauty blender. And this concealer is not as full coverage as the other Shape Tape. This is actually the Shape Tape Glow Wand, which offers a little bit less coverage, but it's more creamy and not so thick, which I guess some people like. Personally, I prefer a full coverage, but like I say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to take this off after I do it, so I don't need, you know, I don't need it to last like 8 hours or anything. So now, going in with foundation, this is the Fit Me Maybelline Matte and Poreless. And honestly, I actually really love this foundation. I think it's again not too thick, but it gets the job done. This might be a little bit dark for me right now. Let's blend it out and we'll see. This is shade 112. Yeah, I think that's definitely a little bit too dark just now. So I'm going to go ahead and mix in a little bit of 105 to what's already on my hand, because I do think this does oxidize as well a little bit once it's on. So I don't want to be looking like an Oompa Loompa. Hopefully combat that orangeness. Maybe not. I guess we'll find out. Stay with me. So like I was saying, I fell down the rabbit hole this morning. Not just about the vaccine, but it also made me look into reasons why people stopped vaccinating in the first place, which was quite interesting, honestly. So what I found out was there was this doctor, and I'm sure his name was Andrew Wakefield, and this was in the late 90s, so I'm sure it was 1998. I will put titles on the screen if I'm wrong, or someone can correct me in the comments. But so this was when this publication first came out in the late 90s, and it was about the MMR vaccine. And this doctor had published an article about the link between vaccination and autism, and he claimed that the MMR vaccine was causing kids and young people to have autism, which we know is a piley. It is, sorry, but that's not how it happens. So this theory was obviously, you know, very quickly discredited, because I think most people had a good understanding of how vaccines worked, and, you know, not a lot of people believed Mr. Wakefield, but some people did. And actually in the late 90s, and the early 2000s, the vaccination for MMR fell to about 80%. So, you know, that's still pretty high. Still, a lot of people were still getting the vaccine, but there were that 20% that were not getting it, which obviously sadly led to more cases of measles, mumps, and that sort of thing in the early 2000s, around 2006, 7 and 8. So by that time I was 11, 12, 13. So, you know, I think probably a lot of the people involved at that time would be around the same age as me, or maybe a little bit younger. I don't know that many people my age that have autism. There are a few, obviously, but I'm going to go ahead and say it was not because they were vaccinated. Again, that's just my opinion, not facts. Who knows the truth, really? But I highly, highly doubt that the MMR vaccine had any link. And I just also would like to point out, for anybody that doesn't know, not a doctor, but I am childhood early years practitioner, fully qualified, full professional, been doing it for 10 years. So I do know quite a lot about autism, just before anybody comes at me saying, how would I know that? Just will point that out. Okay, now that that foundation is on, again, I think it probably is a little bit dark for me, but we'll just roll with it because why not? I'm not going anywhere. Going back in with this Shape Tape Glow Wand, and I'm just going to do a little bit of extra coverage under the eyes, on my nose, because I do have a big spot on the end of my nose right now, chin, and also forehead. As you can see, just shimmy in the light, that gives a really, really nice glowy effect to the skin. So, you know, maybe you don't want to put this under your eyes, but you certainly can add it like as a base under a highlighter. It does give that sort of glowy sheen finish. I quite like it. Okay, now just going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder and a little puff. Just going to set that under eye because personally my under eyes do crease quite a lot. Don't know if that's an age thing. Who knows? So just going to set that, and also at the sides of my nose, because who wants a creasy nose? Not me. A little bit in the forehead and chin. I do get most oily in my T-zone area, so I do like to just set that a little bit with a powder. So back to the coronavirus vaccine. I will be getting it. I think obviously there was some government issued thing saying that it would be for all over 80s care home staff and everything, all the most vulnerable people first would be receiving it, and I think something like over 1 million people in the UK have already received their first dose, which is fantastic. I don't know if where in the line I'll be. Obviously being frontline care worker, I don't know if I'll be getting it anytime soon, or if it'll be a while. Obviously there are people, like, I'm sure the thing that I read said like over 50s would be entitled to have it like soon, so I don't know where in that line I'll fall, but when it is made available for me, I absolutely will be getting it. And you guys can let me know down below, are you going to be getting it or not? And if not, then what are your reasons? I would really, really like to know. Like, this is actually taking over my brain a little bit. Why people don't want to have it. Is it because they think it's a conspiracy made up by the pharmaceutical companies, or is it, you know, because they think Bill Gates is trying to track them, or do people have other personal reasons that they don't want it? So if, you know, you feel comfortable sharing that, then please leave me a comment, because I am really, really interested in it. I'm not going to argue with you in the comments. If you don't want to get it, that's your choice, obviously. I'm really interested in the reasons that, you know, people don't want to have it. Personally, And again, this is just my opinion, so don't come at me. Personally, I think that it is silly not to get it, right? I know there has been some hearsay about how effective the virus is, and you need to have like the 2 doses for it to be fully effective, and even once you have it, you still need to distance and wear your mask and whatever, right? I know there has been quite a lot of humming and hawing about that, especially, you know, the Facebook warriors who just write whatever they feel like all over Facebook. And again, freedom of speech, that's people's own choice, but I just think it honestly would be silly not to get it, to put yourself and your loved ones at risk by not getting it. Even if it means we still need to wear masks, we still need to socially distance for the time being, I think that obviously the overall main goal, the main objective is that eventually, once like the mass population has been vaccinated, then, you know, maybe these things won't be essential anymore. Like maybe in the future we won't need to wear masks anymore, or we won't need to socially distance from our friends and our families. I think, I mean, this is just my opinion, this is just my thoughts on it. Again, I keep saying this, but I just want to reiterate that this is not facts. This is just me getting this out of my mind because it was in my brain and now it's going to be on the internet. But I just had to sit down and have a wee bit of a rant about this, so I'm sorry if this is not interesting or people are fed up hearing about it, because I am fed up hearing about it. I'm sick to the back teeth hearing about it, but I feel like I just had to sit down and just riddle it and just get this out, so apologies for that. Okay, just using the Mario Badescu facial spray as a base for my highlight to go on. And for highlight, I'm using the Sof Revolution palette, which is, you can see, being well loved. But yeah, leave me a comment, let me know your guys' thoughts on the vaccine and everything, and if you're planning on getting it. If not, why not? I'm really interested to learn more about this and learn more about people's own personal preferences. Okay, now moving on to brows, and we'll finish up these eyes. So for brows, I'm using the Benefit Gimme Brow in shade 5, and just running that through the hairs. If anybody hasn't used this before, it's like almost like a brow mascara. It just, you know, gives a little bit of colour and a little bit more definition. Okay, so now that's on, and then what I like to do is use the Benefit K-Brow also just in the front. You can probably see my brows are quite sparse in the front, so I just like to do a little bit of this to join up. You see that joined up here to the middle of the brow where that line is. Just doing little tiny hair strokes just to fill that in a little bit, and then the same on this side. You see, and that still keeps it super natural, but just fills in a little bit of those sparse areas. And then the last thing I like to use for brows is just a clear mascara. This is Wet n Wild Mega Clear Mascara, and you can use this on your brows and also on your lashes as well. So just doing the same thing that I did with the Gimme Brow. The only difference is obviously this is clear, so it's not coloured. It doesn't add any colour to your brow or any extra definition, but what it does do, if you brush them up like so, then it gives that sort of laminated look. And also once this dries and goes hard, it makes them stay like that for until you take it off, which I personally really like on days when I'm not wearing makeup, which recently is every day. Not that I'm really going anywhere, but on days when I do need to go into work, this is what I do. Just a little bit of this on the brows and occasionally on the lashes, just if I'm looking extra tired that day, which realistically is most days. Okay, now that is the brows on. I'm trying to decide what I want to do to finish up these eyes. There is a really nice sort of lighter pink shimmer shade in this Rachel palette here, this one, which is called 90s. I'm thinking I might put a little bit of that on the inner corners. So I'm going to take a little bit of that just on a little small pencil brush and then give it a wee spray, and that'll just enhance that shimmer. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys see this in this light. The lighting in this room is just terrible and I'm really sorry about it. I do have my softbox lights on, but because there's a window like right here, sometimes the reflections are not good. But you can see here, I'm giving you a super close up, that shimmer. I think that's really pretty. Not too in your face, but enough to make an impact. I think that's really nice. It's subtle. I don't know really if you can see it in this light, but I think it is quite pretty. Okay, moving on. Mascara now. Mascara time. I'm not going to do a wing on this. I think it's already quite dramatic as is. So for mascara, I'm just using the Body Shop Lash Hero Fibre Extension Mascara. Now, if you watch the vlogs, I'm sure I've mentioned this in one of the vlogs previously. So what you do is one end is fibres and one end is the mascara. Now, if you haven't used fibres before, they can be a little bit scary. So this is what they look like. It looks like just little tiny pieces of wool, basically. So what you do is you just apply them on your lashes just like you would a normal mascara. Okay, and then you add mascara over the top, and what it does is it just adds volume and length. Okay, mascara on. Now, I think that looks a lot better now that the inner corner highlight and the mascara's on. I don't know, I mean, obviously the blending's still not great on this eye. It is looking a bit muddy, but that's my fault for adding too much shadow. I don't know, what do you guys think? Okay, last step, a lip. Now, do we want to go dramatic and do a pink lip to match the pink eye, or do we want to keep this kind of nudie? I think probably let's keep it quite nudie. So again, Body Shop lipstick. This is shade Sienna Rose 430, and it's just quite a nice like nude shade. It is a pinky nude, but it's more nude. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this in my videos, but my lips are weird, right? I don't have filler or anything, but this side in my lip is more like pointed, like triangular, and this side is more rounded naturally, which is a bit strange. This side is like comes out more and this side is in more. So when I'm doing my lipstick, sometimes it's quite hard to make them match. Like you can probably see this side just naturally is more pointy. So sometimes I need to like overdraw a little bit just to make them sort of match. I think that's okay, but I guess we'll see when this video's done how it looks, but I think that's alright for now. So there we go, a little makeup look and a little rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sure probably some people will have clicked away once I got full into the rant there. But again, please leave me your comments down below. I'm really interested to know people's personal preferences, and I'm quite interested just to understand the reasoning behind why people would choose to either vaccinate or not vaccinate. Like I said, I will be getting it whenever it's offered to me. I just think that's the best option. I think it's the safest option for myself and for my family and those closest to me. So that is my personal opinion. So please leave me yours. And you can also let me know what you think of the makeup. I do really like these palettes. I think all Revolution palettes are great. They are super pigmented, as we can see. Really like them. The colours in these are quite good for me because I tend to do more neutrals looks. Like I do love a good bold bright colourful look, but most of the time I do like a neutral look. So these palettes do have quite a lot of neutrals in them. Granted, they do have like the bright pops like the pink and stuff, but overall really like them. So if you guys did like this video and you want to see more makeup looks from me, then please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Monday and Friday, and if you want to see any more makeup things, then you can check out my Instagram. It's at Nicola Savage 22. I post quite a lot of makeup pics over there, so check that out if that's what you're interested in. or if you're here for the chat, then likewise let me know and I can do more of these kind of videos and we can discuss different topics every week. Entirely up to you guys. Let me know and I will do my best to sort that out. Okay, everyone take care, stay safe, wear your mask, keep a distance, don't be selfish, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.